Welcome to Ignite Elections Update, your deep dive into the people, parties, and power moves shaping Guyana's 2025 general and regional elections. I'm Ramona Luti, and in this episode, we take a look at the people and promises competing for your vote on September 1. The 2025 campaign is in full swing, and each party is out of the gate, some with big leaps and others with even bigger promises. The incumbent PPPC is banking on its 5-year track record and a vision of continuity. It's calling on Guyanese to place that X next to the cup for what it describes as more progress, more delivery, and more development. According to the party's General Secretary and Vice President, Bar Jagdeo, the PPP is rolling out 30 major promises.
We've laid out our plans for the future, and that is why I hope that every one of you will read the flyer that we put out. It has nearly 30 promises there for the next 5 years.
Sounds promising indeed. But while the PPP touts its successes, the claims of a rising cost of living remains a sticking point. And, of course, opposition parties are seizing on this issue, citing increases in food prices and daily expenses. President Irfan Ali, however, has pushed back. On Sunday, he shared the PPP's evolving plan to tackle poverty through targeted social support, rural investment, and expanded training opportunities for vulnerable groups.
Addressing poverty is also how we address essential services. And cooking gas is an essential service. Reducing that by half is addressing poverty electricity. Reducing that by half is an essential service. So when you have not only accessibility and reliability, but the cost of energy coming down by half, that directly address poverty because it's an essential service. Similarly, with the gas project coming on stream, cooking gas is going to come down substantially. We are targeting a cylinder of cooking gas at $1,000. Now, that again is another essential item. That's another essential item that will reduce poverty.
On the other side of the coin is the main parliamentary opposition, a Partnership for National Unity, or APNU. Their presidential candidate is current opposition leader Aubrey Norton, and the prime ministerial candidate is former AFC parliamentarian Jurita Fernandes. APNU has unveiled an ambitious 100-day plan to win the election. Among the headline measures are promises of a $100,000 cash transfer to every adult, a massive tax-free threshold increase from the current $130,000 to $400,000 per month, 35% salary hikes for public servants, including teachers, nurses, and disciplined forces, an increase in the old age pension to $100,000 per month, and $50,000 monthly stipends for students in tertiary and technical institutes. Norton has also pledged to reopen negotiations with ExxonMobil on the 2016 PSA deal.
In our first 100 days, the APNU coalition government will do the following. 1. Engage ExxonMobil on the Stabroek Block PSA with the aim of increasing benefits for Guyana. 2. Amend the Natural Resource Fund Act to ensure that there are savings for future generations and for when oil prices are low. 3. Release all government contracts on the oil and gas industry and other major projects.
Next up, the Alliance for Change, or AFC. Their presidential candidate is attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes, and their prime ministerial candidate is Indigenous rights activist Laura George. The party is setting bold expectations with its 100-day plan, promising what it calls sweeping reforms to address the high cost of living. According to candidate Jaipal Sharma, the AFC would deliver a $100,000 cash grant to every citizen 18 and older, a $150,000 grant for seniors and persons with disabilities, a 2-month tax-free bonus for all servicemen and women, a $300,000 grant for new mothers, and a $500,000 burial support grant for grieving families. Sharma, who has a background in finance, says the AFC would fund these proposals by rooting out what it calls a $300 billion in corruption embedded in the current national budget. Moving on, let's talk about what newcomer We Invest in Nationhood, or the WIN party, is promising. Businessman and presidential candidate Azzuddin Mohammed has put forward a tax-slashing, income-boosting vision under the We Invest in Nationhood party. His party is yet to identify a prime ministerial candidate, but prominent members include 3 former APNU AFC ministers of government and well-known comedian and activist Odessa Primus as the general secretary of the party. At the heart of the WIN plan, they promise to cut VAT from 14% to 10%, reduce PAYE from 25% to 20%, raise the income tax threshold from $130,000 to $200,000, increase the current government's Because We Care cash grant from $55,000 to $100,000, increase the public servant salary by up to 50%, and hike the minimum wage in the private sector through engagement. Some other additional measures include:
public assistance will increase from $22,000 to $50,000. Public assistance for individuals living with HIV and cancer will increase from $14,000 to $30,000. The old age pension will increase from $41,000 to $100,000. It's too long our senior citizens are struggling in this country, and we have to end this. And we will end this come the 2nd of September. Used vehicle from 0 to 1499 cc. Right now they're paying a flat rate duty of $800,000. We will bring it down to $700,000. New vehicles from 0 to 1499 cc. The customs duty will be reduced from 35% to 20%. All other classes of vehicles, including 4-door pickups, will see sweeping reductions of up to 60%. Sweeping reductions of up to 60%. ATVs, duty and VAT-free.
Mohammed emphasized that he would forego his presidential salary and redirect it towards supporting the vulnerable. And like the other parties, he's also pointed to allegations of corruption and wasteful spending by the current government, claiming up to 30% of national funds are being misused. Next, we have the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, ALP party. Its presidential candidate is former APNU AFC Minister Simona Brooms, and they're campaigning on a platform of economic revitalization, governance reform, and youth empowerment. So far, the party has not released a full manifesto nor a 100 days plan. Its presidential candidate, Simona Brooms, has, however, promised a blueprint for the creation of a sustainable job market, reduction of bureaucratic inefficiencies, and strengthening democratic institutions, which are essentially diplomatic ways of saying the party plans to create more jobs, cut government red tape, and strengthen democracy. Attempts by Ignite News to speak with party representatives have proved to be futile, but we'll be watching closely as more details emerge. The Forward Guyana movement is entering the race with a call for unity, innovation, and generational leadership. The party's message is centered around inclusive governance, digital transformation, and environmental sustainability. The party has not released a full manifesto either, but it has promised support for victims of violence, detailing a plan to create social nets to reduce the impact of domestic violence.
Femicide doesn't begin with blood, it begins with disrespect, with objectification, with silence, with complicity. The devaluing of our women is killing us, not just in homes, but in the halls of parliament, in bars, in courtrooms, in police stations, and in the minds of those who look away. This is the hidden cost of femicide. Families shattered, children scarred, communities grieving. We must stop pretending that this is just a domestic issue. It is not.
With the election clock ticking down, the battle lines are being drawn. not just between parties, but over whose vision of Guyana's future voters will choose to trust. Will it be continuity or change, track record or transformation? We'll keep following the candidates, the policies, and the promises as we get closer to Election Day. That's it for this edition of Ignite Elections Update. I'm Ramona Luti. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Don't forget to follow Ignite News on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for daily updates and special election features.